Good morning and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about focal length and how it can change your images. Let's go. So as I said in the intro, we're going to be talking about focal lengths and we're going to be going from 15mm all the way up to 400mm, and I'm going to be showing you how focal length can change your images. Now, we kind of talked about it in a previous video, which I'll link up above here, where I talked about the 50mm and the 35mm and how they can change slightly, but with 15mm difference, you're not going to be able to tell the difference too much. So we're going to go straight into how going from one extreme of a wide angle like I am now, all the way up to 400mm, where I'm going to have to be walking miles away from a car. And the elephant in the room, if you can see it right here, my daughter's car, her new car, as of like a week ago. I thought I would bring it onto, let's come around here, I thought I would bring it onto the scene. We can see it behind me. It's an Audi A1 for her first car. Wild. She's been saving, she's only 17, she's been saving for the last 6+ months, maybe longer, working in a cafe, and I literally just saved every single penny. And we got her new car a couple of weeks ago, so mega. When she actually passes a test, it's going to feature on this YouTube channel quite a bit with any luck. I just need to buy in from her, but she loves cars and she loves everything about that sort of stuff, so I'm probably not going to have to twist her arm too much to get on it. Anyway, we're going to be talking about focal lengths. I've set up the camera already with a 15mm, and like I said, we're going to go all the way up to 400mm. So without further ado, we're going to crack straight on and we're going to talk about some of the characteristics you may see when you're changing your focal lengths. I do hope that the Osmo that you're filming on at the moment is all leveled out and good to go. It's very hard to tell when the screen is so small, but seems to be all right. I apologize in advance if it's not, but seems to be level, but I'm quite far away. At the moment, we have got the 15 to 35. It used to be the 16 to 35. This is now the RF 15 to 35mm. We're at 15mm, and what I've done is I've got my ND polarizer that's also a bloom filter as well. I've got that on. This is the K&F Concept. I'll link a video at the top. I've done a previous video about that as well. This is not a sponsored video about this filter, but cannot fault it. It's absolutely mega. So because it is a 5-stop ND, I'm just going to use that to the advantage. We're not going to do anything crazy with like shallow depth of field and stuff like that. Because it's pretty windy out here, the clouds are moving quite fast. What I've done is I've maxed out the ND all the way to ND5. It will introduce a little bit of vignetting, but obviously I'll edit these images anyway afterwards. But it's created a little bit of a moody image. I will be doing a little bit of long exposure photography, so I've set it to f22, ND5, and I've got a 2-second timer and a tripod so that I'm not going to disturb it. And hopefully with like 3 to 4 second photo, you'll get a bit of movement in the clouds. But the clouds are moving rapid, so already since I've done this introduction and I've set everything up, the clouds have pretty much come out of the scene of the immediate images that I took to set up this shot. So moving on to the characteristics, like I said then, the very first thing that you're going to see with the 15mm is obviously it's crazy wide. You're going to get a bit of distortion the closer you get to the subject. That's the biggest characteristic. And then when you get to 50mm, like I said in my previous video that I just mentioned, 50mm, it's going to level out to be pretty much a normal image that we see with our eyes. And then when you go all the way up to 400 and beyond, but I've only got 400 today, you're going to get very, very compressed imagery, and you're going to see the background a lot closer to the back of the image. You'll lose everything that's on the side of the image. And we're going to go straight into it, starting off, like I said, with the 15mm. So very first thing, like I said, with the 15mm, when you get nice and close, I'm touching the bonnet and touching the camera. I am close, yet I can get the whole car in the shot. So like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to set the camera up. I'm going to tell you my settings, and then I'm going to explain the characteristics that you can see in the photo. Just starting to spit at the moment already, even though it's on and off bright day, so that's wild. Maybe the black clouds that you can see behind me are the ones that rained on me just a second ago, and the ones that were really moody in the initial part of this shoot. Now that the clouds have moved away, the likelihood of it doing anything really with the long exposure, I'm not 100%, but we're going to give it a go anyway. So I'm on f22 100 ISO, ND5, and a 2-second timer. Like I said, we've got a bit of vignetting, probably because of the angle of the sun. You're probably going to see the tripod, so I'll have to try and edit that out. Unfortunately, the car is not very clean. I've only got like an hour and a half before I have to go and take my daughter to an appointment, so time is of a premium today. But we're going to take the photo, polarizing lens, 15mm, 2-second timer, let's go. There's a little bit of movement in the sky, quite hard to see on the back of the camera. We're now going to move backwards to fill the frame with 24mm and see what the difference is between the two. Now I've changed it to 24mm, I've moved back slightly. I've tried to frame it similarly, but it's quite hard to frame it the same because with the 15mm, the gate was all massively in the photo. I'm trying to get the car the same size in the frame, but it's so extreme at 15mm that it's quite hard to marry it up. It'll become a bit better when I go between like 35 and beyond, but we're on 24mm. The reason why I've put it to 24mm is because that's what most people would have, like a 24-70, for example. Or if you're using the APS-C, it's at 18-55. Today is busy with cars. I'm in like a little country lane. I was not expected it to be this busy. Anyway, 24mm, let's go. 2-second timer, and we're starting to get it to look a little bit more normal, less extreme, less distorted within the frame. Now I'm going to move it to 35mm and take a photo. Boom, nice. There's a reduced speed sign behind me over here that you can see in the photos, so there's no point of actually showing you just then, but you can see it in the photos, so we're going to use that as a point of reference the further I come back down the road to take the different focal lengths. I'm now going to change the lens to the 24-70, and we're going to go 50mm and then 70mm. Just down here, not that you can see probably because with the Osmo, but I have, let's put it over here, you might be able to see it, I have a new bag. I'm gonna have to do a review about this, I think. It's the new f-stop. Cannot remember how they pronounce it. It's written on here somewhere, begins with A. Really good bag, to be fair. I was a bit, cut out already. Wow. I was a bit apprehensive about it to start with because of the way that the insert works and everything else like that, but we'll do that in another video. We're going to fit the 50mm or the 24-70 and then crack on and not talk about the bag, but look forward at some point to a review about this bag. So we've moved to 50mm, getting a bit tighter in the frame now. It's hard to, I jogged the tripod as well, but it's hard to frame them in a similar perspective. I'm basically just trying to center frame all the images. I wouldn't normally center frame all my images, to be honest. I would probably put it on a third or something like that. I've not really talked about composition and things like that before on this channel, not yet anyway, but if you'd like me to talk about different forms of composition, what you can do and how you might break the rules of composition, then leave a comment below if you're interested, and I'll make a video about composition. We're going to do the 50mm, it's exactly what I said before, 2-second timer, 2 seconds exposure, 22 f22 100 ISO, and crack on. Not too bad, not too bad. One thing I am interested in, as you can see, although I'm at f22 should be able to get loads in focus. We're still beginning to lose the back of the car and I'm focusing on the front bumper throughout the whole thing. But like I said in a previous video, when you start going up and compressing the image, even though you're on f/22, you're still going to lose detail in the background and naturally create a bit of bokeh. So we're going to move from 50mm to 70mm now. Let's crack on. So without further ado, we're going to take the picture. I'm not going to go on about it all the time, exact same settings. Let's go. Not bad. Let's have a look through here. Oh, so that's quite nice actually. Quite nice. The reduced speed now, still there. It is still there. Maybe it's in the actual screen that I couldn't notice. Let's have a look. Yeah, like I said, maybe it's a bit blurry, but my statement still stands that you will, the further you go out, might not be at the moment at 70mm because of the size of the subject, relative to how far away we are from that sign, which isn't very far. Anyway, let's move on. We're going to go from 70mm to 100mm. I'm going to change my lens now because I've come to the end of my 24 to 70. I'm going to change lens to the 70 to 200. Now all of these lenses, I'm going to take the hood off. All of these lenses are the L series. This is the 70 to 200 Mark II, I believe. Really nice lens. I will be using it loads more this year with the motorsport and stuff like that, but because I do a lot of filming usually with people, I haven't used a 70 to 200 for a very long time. So now I have changed to the 70 to 200. I'm gonna have to move back a little bit, but I just wanted to point out one thing that I see a lot of people don't do is, now that I've changed to a longer lens, you put it on the lens mount that's provided, so that you don't put all of the weight. If you put the tripod here, then the lens is pulling down on the camera mount. So top tip, when you're using one of these lenses, use this mount provided. So let's go back to 100mm. Let's go back here. Let's try not to get run over. Just noticed here, may have made a mistake before, like I was saying about f/22 not providing bokeh in the background. In the preview here, the bokeh is reduced. I can't actually remember, in old cameras, the let's say your widest aperture was f2.8. Your preview would be f2.8, and then when you take a picture, it would sort itself out. So I don't know whether this is the same with the R5 Mark II or mirrorless camera in general, but comment below if you think that's a thing, that it will preview in 2.8, and then obviously when you actually take the photo, it will show you the physics of f/22. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the bag, I'm going to move you, because you're in the shot already, and then I'm going to take the photo. It's crazy busy today with cars. I was not expecting it to be this busy. It's 20 past 1 at the moment on a Sunday afternoon, so maybe everybody's going back and forth to the pub. I have no idea, but crazy busy. Some nice cars though. Let's just move you a bit. Nice Mercedes just gone past. But yeah, anyway, I digress. Usual 2 seconds. We're at 100mm now with a 70 to 200 f/22, 100 ISO, ND5. Let's go. So the reduced speed sign is still sharp, but we're now going to move on to 135mm. Same old, same old. We're going to move backwards, take the photos again, and see what happens. Now, like I said, that was at 135mm. We're starting to lose the sides, the peripherals now, like we did with a 15mm. What we're going to do right at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that, is we're going to go through all of the photos in one long sequence so that you can see the difference. But what we're going to do now, we're going to move to 200mm and get to the limit of the 70 to 200. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We're about 22 meters or 22 paces, if you want to call it that. Probably about 25 meters, I would say, from the subject now, quite far. We're at 200mm now, so I'm going to move you backwards, or you're going to come with me. I'm going to move you backwards. It's like vlogging with a giant tripod. Let's move you here, quite far away now. Let's move it down on a verge, so quite not easy, not that you can see at the moment. I'll show you on my phone what you look like. There we go, look, that's what you look like. Let's go a bit wider, on the verge, on the road, with the bag, my camera, and the car all the way over there. Quite the distance, and it's going to get even wilder when we get the 400mm out. Anyway, let's put this away. Let's get 200mm on the go, and then let's change it to 300. So we're going to go from 200 to 300, then finish with 400. So stay tuned. Oh, starting to get blurry sign. I do like this one though. This is a good focal length. The front of the car is not very sharp for some reason. Maybe that's just me pixel peeping. Maybe the wind on the tripod is making it move around a little bit because it's like a 4 second time in this time. No, 4 second exposure, sorry, because of the exposure that I've changed. I think that shot would be a great shot at like 200mm at f2.8. Try and get some foreground and stuff in there. We'll do that when we get to the 400mm right at the end. Because obviously throughout I've just been using f22 to get some long exposure, which is not really relevant anymore because of the clouds not even being in the shot really. But I just wanted to show you what bokeh will do even at f22. So we're going to go to 400mm now, and then I'm going to show you 2.8 at, or it might be f4. I can't remember what the 100 to 400 is. It might be f4. Anyway, we're going to go to 300mm now. Let's get on it. So we have now moved to the 300mm on the 100 to 400. One thing to note about this, I don't have the polarizer on here because this is the EF version of the 100 to 400. It goes to, so it's an F, bear with me. I didn't pick it up when I turned it on because, as in I didn't notice it when I turned it on because it was already on f22. But this is the f4.5 to f5.6. So basically, when you're at 100mm, it's f4.5. Then when you're at 400mm, it's f5.6. So it's a variable aperture, which is not great to be honest, but it is what it is. Like I said, anyway, I'm at f22, so it's neither here nor there. But it just means that we won't be going to f2.8, like I said earlier, when I change to, 400mm. But we will still stop down, wait for that car to go past, we will stop down all the way down to f5.6, and you should still see a blurry background. But anyway, we're gonna go 300mm, let's go. There's a really annoying plant that's right in the foreground. I'm going to leave it for now. Not going to destroy it, but still annoying. There we go. It's a bit better. Could really do with a polarizing filter. That would be nice. However, I can't use a polarizing filter and the ND adapter at the same time, and I don't have my adapter that isn't ND with me today. So It's the way it is. I'd probably normally have it, to be fair, but because I've changed bags and I changed everything that I thought I needed, and I still use my other bag, then I've obviously forgotten my adapter somewhere. But anyway, I digress, as per usual. We're going to change now to 400mm and see what happens. This car is absolutely flying past us. Let's move here so that you can see how fast they're going. Maybe they're going to slow down. Maybe not. Maybe they thought I was some sort of like mobile speed camera geezer, but they were actually flying just then. Anyway, as usual, like I said, I digress. We're at 400mm now, so we're going to, yeah, people definitely think I'm a mobile speed camera thing. We're going to take pictures, obviously, at 4 seconds, f/22, ISO 100. Let's go. Bosh. So at the moment, because I've tried to fill the frame with the car, you can't actually see the environment that the Audi is in. Is it very sharp? Doesn't look very sharp. It's not the best. I could do with a polarizing filter, not gonna lie. Is the sign, I would argue, even though you can't see the red sign anymore, I would argue that it is in fact slightly out of focus. But as promised, like I said, I'm going to change to f5.6 now, and you're going to be able to see the difference. So let's go f5.6, 1/25 of a second. So in theory, at f5.6, you shouldn't be able to see the sign. Should be pretty damn blurry. You shouldn't be able to see the plants that are in front. They should be very blurry. But let's take a picture and see what happens. Well, as you can see, the sign is incredibly blurry behind. You can still see the foreground, maybe because we're just shooting straight for it. The plants that were moving. Oh, and also, obviously, I should have thought about that. You can definitely see them because I'm now at 125th of a second, so not freezing time, but much more likely to actually get, what do you call it, things that are moving in the actual shot. I could talk about shutter speed and everything else like that, but I did actually do a video, which I'll link up above here, about different types of shutter speed and what it can do to your image. But if we cycle through the images now, you will be able to see, let's start from the 400mm, so the one that you've just seen. We're going to go all the way backwards to 15mm so that you can see the difference. The background changes quite a bit until you get all the way to the end, and you cannot see hardly any of the background. We are fully compressed, shall we say. But I would say we're probably about 50 meters from the car now. So if you had a subject with you and you're filming the subject or taking photos of the subject, you would need comms. You would be able to shout left, right, and center. Obviously today I'm on my own, but we're not. But yeah, you would need comms. So points to note when you're using long lenses, you definitely need some form of comms if you're with a subject. But if you're shooting, I probably wouldn't use 400mm anyway, to be honest, not unless you're on track, which is very different style photos anyway. But if you're doing stuff like this, 200mm is nice. 400mm is just pretty wild, unless you had some crazy background like the Golden Gate Bridge or something like that. But let me know in the comments below what you thought about the different focal lengths. What's your favorite focal length? And if you knew anything or didn't know anything, and I've enlightened you about anything to do with these focal lengths and stuff like that. But it's just more of a points to note really with the focal lengths of what a 400mm will do compared to a 15mm, for example. Pretty extreme at both ends. Well, that's pretty much it, ladies and gents. Please comment below, like I said, if you like this, like, subscribe, all of those cool things. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall catch you in the next one.